This is another New Black World Order TV Productions. Uh-huh. Chopper. Chopper. What's happening, family? Grand Rising. I want to talk about the Grand Master J. Nfac, right? I've been sitting back watching, observing, listening, respecting the developments as they unveil themselves, right? I want to talk to the young folks who may be adhering or subscribing to Grandmasters J following or movement, right? I want you to look up a word called Dunning-Kruger effect, right? A lot of people thought that Grandmaster J was an agent, right? And with some people, that's still up for a conclusion, right? But when I was on Lady CEO Talk of the Street radio show and we were talking about that appearance at Stone Mountain, right? How he put all of the brothers in one formation and they were like sitting ducks. They could have been sniped. Someone could have used drones, attached them with C4, basically blowed up the whole formation. So I more so lean to the idea that Grandmaster J is an attention seeker. And see, it's one thing to attention seek for a political office. It's another thing to attention seek for a place in hip hop, or a place in the conscious community, or a place in a platform on YouTube, right? But you're going to have to study the histories of revolutions, the interactions between the revolutionaries and the oppressors. And one thing you're going to realize, there's a pattern. That shit gets real. So for the attention seeker to place himself in this realm, he's going to be shocked, right? It's almost like being a bank robber, right? The feds are coming. It ain't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And so when you're attention seeking, when the shit gets real, we kind of get to the point where you got to cross the line, Master J. Right? I'm not suggesting that you do something stupid like people say, but don't be a Yahweh bin Yahweh. What do I mean by that? You can bite off more than you can chew. See, an attention seeker can bite off more than they can chew. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have militias. I'm not saying that we shouldn't get together, train, and get a formidable militia ready for whatever develops. But we're talking about don't be a Yahweh bin Yahweh. See, Yahweh bin Yahweh proclaimed to be God Almighty, Yahweh, Son of Yahweh. But they put him on house arrest. And I just can't conceive God being on house arrest. I can't conceive a revolutionary allowing the suppressor to tell him that he can't hold a gun, that he cannot make a YouTube video. And if you comply to these, then what was the purpose of talking all of this revolutionary talk? See, I know, and I've been in the field. See, in the field is different than on a YouTube platform. Shit gets real. Those who you think were with you are not. Those who you think you can trust, you can't. It's like a baby, the revolution. You got to feed it. You got to put pampers on it. You got to put clothes on it. Sometimes you're in this alone with a few other committed people, right? But when you're an attention seeker, right, like a cult leader, like a person who has grand illusions or grander illusions of themselves. See, because the Dunning-Kruger effect explains to us that sometimes people who may know a little something, see, these people know a little something, but they don't know actually what they're doing. They're overestimating their ability to perform the task. So let's look at how he listens to his oppressor. See, because if the leader bows down to the oppressor, that's a sign of weakness to your soldiers. I'm not suggesting that you do anything stupid, but real revolutionaries don't obey the laws of the oppressor. I once read it, and I read it over and over again. A revolutionary act is always considered to be a crime by the oppressor. The culture of the revolutionary is to break the laws of the oppressor. I also once heard before that 3 or 4 revolutionaries were sitting at a red light 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, nobody was coming this way, nobody was coming that way, nobody was coming behind them, and there was no traffic to the front of them. And while they sit there waiting on the light to change, they discuss revolution. The irony of the story is that they were waiting on the light to change. Now, if you weren't going to break that law, then how are you going to break the laws to get free? Some of you guys are going to, again, have to study revolutions in different cultures, different times, different places. The interaction between the revolutionaries and the oppressors. I mean, shit will get worse than that. This is nothing what he's going through. They just took him in the room and told him, look, we'll bust your shit. They just took him in the room and let him know, AB, we'll pull up on your and bust your shit. Now, if that makes him buckle in the knees, then what will a gunshot do to a shoulder? What would a gunshot do to his thigh? So this is some of the things you have to think about. The A, the B, the C, and the D scenarios that takes place on the field and not on a YouTube platform. Revolutions are definitely not for attention seekers. Because once you get into that shit, it's all blood and guts. It's funerals. It's crying, mourning, pain, real bad pain. So nobody in the revolution, like actually really, really deep down inside, wants to be in that position. But they have to because they understand that it must be done. So to all you attention seekers, right? Shit will get real. And only the committed will stay. Even in most professions, and let's say the police department, right? They got a turnover rate. Not too many people staying in 15 years. And you're going to notice with this conscious community shit, not too many people staying in 15 years. Well, how are you going to do 15 days with somebody shooting at you for 2 weeks straight? Another thing is, if they were ambushed at a formation, where was the supply line? See, all of these things got to be thought out. And then another thing is, I was taught as a young man, you never threaten nobody and don't carry it out. You never draw a gun on a man unless you intend to fire that gun. So the thing about walking around with all these guns is kind of irrelevant to me. You don't pull a gun unless you're going to fire that shit off. So the thing is, Like when we read in the book Art of War, you know, putting the wrong person in a leadership position fucks up the whole thing. The real revolutionaries are not really attention seekers because they understand the gray man effect. You got to be hidden right in plain sight. But the attention seeker wants to be seen. He wants to be heard. He wants to take credit for everything. He wants to receive everything that comes with the attention. Well, if the government pulled up on you, Master J, it's somebody that's not a part of the government, that's in the opposition, the ops. See, with this revolutionary shit, they'll pull up on you too. So you know what they want to do. They want to do what the police want to do, but the police are trying to find another way to do it. But the person that's not a part of any police organization, that's the ops. With this revolutionary shit, if you study the interactions between the oppressors and the revolutionary, they'll pull up on your ass too. So I'm saying, once you look at the Dunning-Kruger effect, you will realize that brother bit off more than he can chew. See, because shit gets real. And after this, shit will get more realer. That's a fact. So they took his computers too. All of the interactions, intimate conversations with him and his leadership and the members are all now being studied by the FBI. See, some shit you need to keep in your head. I got 12 books in this motherfucker. Never been written down. See, you're going to have to keep some stuff in your head. You remember Malcolm X used to run with the Jamaican number runner and keep the numbers in his head. See, because when you die, some secret should die. So the message is to Nfac is that this revolutionary shit is not something that you could play with. It's not for attention seekers. And stop going around pulling guns out on people unless you intend to bust off. See, because I'm the type of dude that you can't threaten and walk away from me. Right? Because I don't use words casually. You know, see, just using words casually, like you did down there in Louisiana, you know, just saying things casually. See, a revolutionary understands the A, the B, the C, and D scenarios on the field. See, we got to have, again, an understanding of revolutionaries, the interactions between their people that they were fighting. We got to learn from that history. We got to draw it up. All of it, we got to pull it out, look at it, and see how we can apply it on the field today. Because everything is real in the field.